You know, and now we get into one of my least favorite matchups in all of existence at TvT. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But I mean, TvT has got more fun now that they're OP, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm being very biased here, but this should be an awesome matchup. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map. It is the player playing for Cascade Esports. It is SouL.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Brazilian Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Kelazhur. Oh boy. And I think what's scary is that whoever wins here, like if I kind of rate SouL's TvT a little bit higher, and if he does win here, Kelazhur is going to get knocked down to that lower bracket for a potential rematch against a player like Cham.
And I don't know. It's a tough ask for Cham. In the losers bracket, he's kind of got a big thing going on in there. A lot of players to play.
Yeah. A lot of really solid players, and yeah, that's the good thing about being here in the upper bracket between these two players. Whoever wins qualifies, whoever loses, they're not out. You know, they can still continue to fight.
Yeah. And as a TvT, I don't know anything about SouL, so I don't know how his playstyle is right now. Kelazhur, however, we've seen him in plenty of TvTs, and he's decent.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty good at the matchup. I want to say that SouL is more of a bio player. I don't think he's going to open up mech. I hope he doesn't play mech in TvT. We'll see. We'll see. That's the last thing we want.
Taking the last sip of my coffee because I know I'm going to need the energy for this one.
Oh boy.
Cham, man, why'd you do this to me?
So he does. He plays with your heart on the romanticide, you know?
Oh, wow. Big brain plays there.
Oh, God. And yeah, we'll see which of these players is going to be able to make it through. So far, pretty standard openers coming out from either of them. It looks like SouL, he's getting his add-ons on his racks. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, he's actually getting up to 3 Reapers.
Yeah, which is funny because I think I mentioned this before. Like, oh my God, it's crazy. They got 2 Reapers, and now like the big update came, and now they get 3 Reapers. And I think that's just the standard now, maybe.
Well, I mean, the difference being that, like, you know, Kelazhur is the one going for 3, meanwhile SouL is still on 2. So if Kelazhur
wants to be behind on times.
Yeah, like this is the reason why you go for 3. Kelazhur, he has a little bit more here to be able to maybe potentially break through if his macro is on point, and then maybe get a couple of SCV kills. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so here.
Yeah. And there's 2 Hellions though, so yeah. Okay, splits, 2 Hellions, 3 Reapers. Who wins this fight? I don't know. There's 2 Marines here also. Grenades go off for SouL. Oh, wow. All the Reapers are gone.
Oh, the Reapers are gone. The Hellions are still standing strong. One of the Reapers went down. The Reapers are down for both players.
And Kelazhur wins this fight, but doesn't capitalize on it. He's going to chase that Hellion down.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Rocket League.
You win the fight, but it's like, man, you got 2 units left, and there are reinforcements as well. It's like,
It was like Rocket League cars about to play soccer.
Have you played Rocket League?
Oh yeah, I kind of like it. It's fun. It's fun to pass time, but I haven't played it in like a year probably now. Ooh, and then loses the Hellion anyways. Was it really worth it? An eye for an eye.
Isn't TvT great?
Oh, it's the funnest. How crazy is it gonna get? Is it gonna get 1 Raven or 2?
Oh, or 3.
Or 3. We're both going for 2, so is there gonna be 3?
Could be.
We'll find out in 20 minutes.
We'll see. We'll see if 3 come out. Meanwhile, we got CCs on the way for both players as well. They're both going to be expanding to get their third bases. And to be fair, like I have seen some pretty like intense aggressive TvTs in the past, but it's very dependent on the players and like their preferred style of play. It's very possible that we could just see them kind of chill for a little bit, especially because in TvT, like it's so hard to like close the game out because of tanks and the way they work. Like defensively, they're so good, and it can be so difficult to break.
Oh yeah, which is why TvT is such a fun matchup. Both players getting a lot of tanks now as well. I like how that cyclone makes a sound every time it drives, like there's someone in it. Sounds like my truck trying to start up.
Oh god, how is your truck, by the way? Is it still going? Is it still alive?
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's working great. I drove it all around. I actually went out the other day and just drove it in circles around my neighborhood because I wanted to.
You serious?
The funny thing is, yeah. The funny thing is though, here in Texas, I don't know how you guys do it over there, but for your car to register it, to have it legal, you need registration, and then you need like you need the inspection and registration. So I went on, I got all that done, and I'm like, okay, now I gotta save some money to buy insurance. And they just came out with the law that says you don't need your registration anymore because of COVID. Like you can have an expired registration up to 9 months. So the day I bought my registration, they say you don't need it.
Hold
and that's
on.
just my luck.
Hold on. Are you telling me that your car passed inspection?
Oh no, I get it done illegally. I got a guy for that.
You're like, oh yeah, you just need to register, and then you get an inspection done, and you're good. And I got that, and I'm like, hold on a second, something's not adding up with this story.
Oh yeah, no, I got a guy for that thing.
Oh god.
Unless the FBI is watching, then in that case, I get my car properly examined by professionals because it's a legal running car, guys. Okay. But also, if you live in Texas and you need an inspection, I got a guy. But here comes a big engagement. Tanks unsieged for Kelazhur. What did he think he was gonna do there?
Well, you know what he does? He does throw down missile turrets and take out a decent number of tanks of SouL, but he is forced back.
He lost a lot there, but they're even on workers, pretty even in army count, and this is becoming quite the interesting TvT. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to say who came out ahead because Kelazhur lost some tanks, but he also kept all 3 of his Ravens alive. Meanwhile, SouL lost 2 of his Ravens as they both had 3. And at the end of the day, like Ravens are pretty huge in this matchup when it comes to their turrets or interference matrix.
Oh yeah. I mean, Ravens are the name of the game here, I think. If you one Raven, you might as well just quit.
Pretty much. It's all about the air superiority in TvT, and that comes down to Ravens, it comes down to Vikings, eventually Liberators as well.
And I feel like it's pretty interesting how they get them in the beginning, and then once they move that starport over, they never make any more.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how that works out. I will say that in the very, very late game, like we have seen Mass Raven become a little bit more popular. Is it gonna happen here between these two? It could if we end up like 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah, which I hope we don't.
I'm hoping for a big doom drop at some point. You know, someone just be like, you know what, I'm pulling the trigger and I'm going for it. Kelazhur has to be careful though. There are missile turrets.
He doesn't care. He'll take them. Oh, jeez. Oh. Those missile turrets target firing? How do they both aim at the same one? But either way, a little bit of stim here. I mean, it's worth it. He's getting plenty of kills here. Picks up. He could even redrop if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could definitely try. He has to be careful because of all the Marines. But he was able to find some damage. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. And he's actually posturing around looking for another.
Ooh, a Raven would be a good pick. But instead, he loses his Cyclone for free instead.
Does lose the Cyclone. Okay, Kelazhur does scan. He's aware of where the army is, so he has to be a little bit careful where he decides to maneuver because he gets scanned himself.
TvT is such a tosser. We saw this with a Special. Was it Special playing in the Taco Cup?
Yep. Special versus Euthermal.
Euthermal, that's right. TvT is very strange. I'm starting to get the hang of it though. As far as a caster, never imagined playing it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Special, if you recall, I think he really neglected Viking production, and it really hurt him in the end. There were times where he was looking really good, but like, again, because of that like lack of air superiority, he would take like a bad engagement, then things would snowball from there.
From what I remember, Special did super good, and then would just take one stupid engagement and lose the entire game instantly.
Pretty much. It was really rough to see, because it felt like he was like performing better overall, but like he messed up once, and then, you know, he stood in tank fire a little bit too long, and then that was it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like most mirror matchups, besides EVZ, like if you just lose one big fight, then the player goes across and kills you. Even if you have the better economy and you're macroing better, it comes back to the engagement that you take and from what angle hits what. And there's only one Raven here, so what does he do here? I would say Interference Matrix the other Raven. Oh wow, this is actually nice. A little run by over here.
Yeah.
Marine's being split.
Bit of a drop, and it looks like he's going to get on top of the tank. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, massive drop across the map, going to be able to get into the natural, and he forces SouL back.
SouL pulls everything back. I feel like he should have gone for the base trade. What do you do here? As SouL. Oh, the Raven gets picked off instantly. So much for that Raven lead now. Actually, he only had one Raven, I believe. Kelazhur still has 3 back at home. Now there's no Ravens. Kelazhur's 3.
Exactly. He does have 3. Meanwhile, anti-armor, but only gets 2 Marines.
Yeah, that was maybe a misclick. I feel like that was not the right call there. Interference makes it even better.
But he does my God. Yeah, he does clean up in the end, but you know what? Now SouL, since he has defended at home, he is finally going to be able to push out across the map, forces a lift off here at the 4th.
I never thought about that. Can you repair those auto turrets?
I think you can.
Right? They're a mechanical unit. You should be able to repair them.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would. They don't last that long, but it would be hilarious to see. But Interference Matrix on half the tanks. There's still so much more bio for SouL here than Kelazhur, but he manages to take out all the tanks and push back SouL due to his own tanks. So that was actually maybe an overextension from SouL here.
Yeah, definitely. He felt like he needed to pull the trigger and he just couldn't pull it off. Meanwhile, he's got bases all over the place. He's got his 4th up and running. He's getting his 5th on the way as well. Meanwhile, Kelazhur has kind of been stuck on 3 bases because he's been forced to lift off his own 4th so many times. Oh, there's no turrets here. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. That's rough. He somehow found the one turret that could kill him, though. So that's cool.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
Yeah, he was able to take out the engineering bay, which means Kelazhur, he can only go for 1 upgrade at a time. With that, SouL already starting 3-3, or almost finished 3-3.
Ooh. And even going into weapons upgrades now as well. Now, I don't know where we go from here. As we said with the TvT, you know, you can never tell who's winning. They're pretty much even on workers, even in army supply for the most part. It's just a matter of where they engage.
Yeah, like 3-3 is nice for SouL, but at the end of the day, like it doesn't mean that you can be careless when it comes to engaging into tanks.
Yeah, are they going for a base trade here?
Oh, SouL doesn't turn around.
He left the tank? He's abandoning his tanks. Oh, I was gonna say that's very risky. All right. He's gonna kill this base, no repair. A lot of workers are gonna go down for Kelazhur. Kelazhur's gotta cause equal or more damage on the other side. But he's also gotta watch out for that Doom drop and go for his own.
Yeah, it looks like, oh my God, he has to be stuck for the brains.
Oh, that was so close. But the Manvax get the high ground. No, don't let your tanks do that. Oh my God, this is getting dicey.
Oh my God, yeah, meanwhile, I'm just waiting for the moment when Kelazhur decides to lift up and also go into the main, but so far he has opted not to do so.
Okay, I don't mind this. Instead, as to where SouL's going for the Doom drop and failing, having to come home, Kelazhur went for the 4th base and is going to actually get the kill, and then he can go home, or still manage to go for the Doom drop after this.
Oh, yeah, and he even jumps.
That.
Yeah, he dies on top of one unsieged tank. It looks like he may... Oh, doesn't even get a tank.
Oh, I don't like that. But at the same time, SouL double posturing. At this point, they're just pulling each other apart. They can't even get a break or a breath of fresh air because there's so much going on. SouL hitting the north and the south bases. Kelazhur hitting the 2 bases right there next to each other. And now where do we sit? 69, 70 works for SouL, 48 for Kelazhur. Kelazhur sitting on a good 3 bases now, and SouL's securing himself another 4th base.
That's the thing, right? Like, even though SouL lost 2 bases, he kept the majority of his workers alive, and he was already expanding to the south because he was being so greedy with his base production. So it doesn't even matter. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, he's so far down in terms of the workers.
Yeah, it seems like an uphill battle for sure, but at the same time, one huge engagement could change the tide, and this is the engagement that loses it for Kelazhur. He do not want to run that many tanks.
Man, and you know what? That orbital, that was the main. That was the main that just went down. He was trying to expand and take his 3rd base desperately, but he couldn't do it. His 4th, I mean.
He's going to get some good volleys here, but there's just too many tanks. That is just about it for Kelazhur. He's going to go for one more push across the map. There's no way this ends the game, though, so he's going to try, but after that fails, it's going to be GG here.
Yeah, SouL, there's nothing to stop him. There's no tank on the high ground. He's just going to stim up the ramp into the main. Meanwhile, Kelazhur is going across the map. Is there anything at home to defend? There are 2 tanks, but they're not sieged.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it here.
Yeah, the Marines, they come back. The tanks, they do manage to siege up. He's able to protect them just long enough, and
SouL taking game number 1. Getting that revenge for my boy Cham over there. Maybe SouL, since he's worked with one of the best out there, maybe he needs to work with the best and start training with Cham in TvT.
I like how in your mind, like that's how you're like spinning it. You're like, SouL, you know what? He's doing it for Cham right now. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's definitely doing it for Cham. He's doing it for all the Zergs out there.
Specifically, like Latino America, you know, like SouL, he's doing it for you guys. Like,
yeah. He's worked with some of the best Zergs out there. Apparently, he helped SouL or whoever that guy is. But now he's fighting for his boy Cham. He needs to train with Cham though.
Exactly. And yeah, SouL already up 1-0. As a reminder, every single series in this qualifier is a best of 3. Even this match, even though it is a qualifying match.
Oh yeah. It's still pretty sick to see these guys go at it. Even though it's a qualifier and really there's still 2 more, not much is on the line. Still pretty epic to watch go down.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is so much like bigger for the Europeans because, as a reminder, this is the NA qualifier, and Europeans are a lot more willing to play in this qualifier compared to Americans playing in the European qualifiers. So this is kind of like bonus spots for these guys.
Unfortunately, kind of messed up if you ask me, but yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, especially because I wish it was a little bit more unified, the rules system, because fun fact, yesterday 2 days ago we casted the Korean qualifier, and for the Korean qualifier only Korean residents and citizens can play in it. They do not allow Europeans or North Americans, and I feel like that's something that they should probably do for all the qualifiers, right?
Region lock it.
Yeah. You know,
but then we'd probably have the same things we have for like ESL or for DreamHack and all that stuff.
True. It does mean that we don't get that's what makes these qualifiers fun, because we get to see like people like Cham versus Euthermal, you know, like that was sick, and that's something that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah, I guess they think it's fair enough that they invite a couple of the players from NA and then have the qualifiers open. It's just so weird. Why would you have an NA qualifier but then have it open to anyone? I mean, obviously it's just a server, but it's a little whack if you ask me. But here we are, back again for another TvT. It might be the last one. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold, Ellie on match point. Playing for Cascade Esports, it is SouL.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of death. I'm falling apart, mate. It's Pillars of Gold. He's Terran. He's blue. He's from Brazil. It is Kelazhur. Know what happens? I laid back in my chair, and doing so just like sent this wave of fatigue through me, and my brain just melted as I was trying to do that intro.
That's very detailed. All that happened in 5 seconds. I feel like this tournament seems longer than the 6 hours we casted the other day, or 7 hours, whatever it was. I think the timing's off on this one, man. I didn't even get lunch in.
Yeah.
Starving. It's 9 p.m. here. I mean, I had lunch, but that was it. I had lunch for breakfast. I had like eggs and toast, and I forgot what else I had, but that's what I had at like 2 p.m., which was now like 8 hours ago. Famished, running out of energy. Sham lost. We're running out of morale.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's something that happens when you're like invested into certain players. And then like I feel like in other tournaments it's okay because like there are other people that you can then root for, because like even for Latino America, like if you're cheering for someone like Eggs, like, and we're still like relatively big fans of like some of the other players like Ryu or Jim or Cham, right?
Yeah, not so much here.
Here we have ties to I guess we do have ties to Kelazhur, but again it's hard, you know, when he takes out Sham, it's like, oh, we were cheering for our boy, you know, he's who we wanted to make it through. And here in this TvT we'll see how they do. Again, I feel like SouL is the more favored player, but in the TvT maybe Sham can pull it off. I mean Kelazhur, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's one of those things where like game one was rough. Like SouL, I don't even think Kelazhur started 3-3. Like SouL was up like 2-2 upgrades for quite some time. Like his drops were dealing a lot more damage. Like his macro, like his base production was on point. His overall like economic macro was insane.
Yeah, the macro is really what held it down for him. I just don't understand the logistics of TvT where they're like, you know, where do you scan, where do you posture, when do you siege, when do you unsiege, and it seems like it's just like try and shark around, engage when you can, and hopefully if you're lucky you'll win like 3 engagements. It's never like one big engagement. I feel like, okay, he won this tank battle, now he won 2 tank battles out of 5, and you know, just snowballing and slowly diminishing, breaking your opponent down chip by chip.
Yeah, definitely. And SouL is going for a very interesting opener. I mean, we'll see what it leads to, but like he skipped a bunch of like the Reapers and the Hellions, and instead he's going into much faster Marines, and because of that, that's why we see the bunker as well to help defend against like Hellions and Reapers. So he's gonna have a much higher bio count to begin with, so he may be looking to go for some kind of push. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, this is getting real interesting here. You know, they're sitting back, doing regular things.
Yeah. Kelazhur is going for his 1-1-1 into Banshees. They're going to be working on that Banshee count. Meanwhile, SouL, just like last game, you know, working on the Ravens instead, which I feel like are a little bit more useful utility-wise. It's going to be a little bit more on Kelazhur to make something happen with those Banshees.
Oh yeah. I feel like now that we're having a TvT, we haven't had very good food talks. Well, what do you plan on eating after the cast? Like
anything.
Anything.
Papusas? What?
Papusas? You need some papusas now?
Maybe. I need sustenance. I need something. I may just.
Now, would you eat a pineapple and ham pizza if it was there right now?
Yes. I would.
Ooh.
I would devour the pineapple pizza. You know what? You know what I would do?
Do you actually like pineapple pizza?
You know what I would do? I would get a kiwi.
Don't tell me you put ketchup on the pineapple. Okay.
I'd get a kiwi. I'd slice it up, and you know what? I'd have some of that as well. Why not?
I would put kiwi and rocket and ketchup all on my pizza.
Huh?
I'd make the worst pizza of all time.
The best pizza of all time. The thing is, I don't think anyone's ever had that. Like, you don't know
the most triggering pizza of all time.
Like there's like potentially that could taste amazing, you know? Who has ever combined pineapple, kiwi, and rocket on a pizza?
Satan.
The devil.
The devil himself.
It's actually in the Bible, you know. You can't. It's a sin to do something like that.
Oh yeah, as soon as you do that, it opens a portal up to hell, and Satan himself comes out, and then you got to duel him in a 1v1 TvT. That's hell. Just you get on the ladder and it's just TvT every time. You open any tournament on Twitch and it's just a TvT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh
it's
boy.
good. It's TvTs are fun as most things, in not in succession. I don't know what the word. What was I looking for here?
Moderation.
Moderation. There you go. I don't even know the word. It's not in my vocabulary. I go harder, I go home. Okay, guys.
Oh boy.
Moderation's for quitters. I'm just kidding. I don't want any angry moms telling me their kid decided to not drink alcohol in moderation because of me.
Look, moderation is fine. And speaking of moderation, mate, like Kelazhur, he's slowly been macroing up. Like, it's been a pretty passive game, surprisingly. Even that Banshee wasn't able to really do too much. It's only just now diving in. And
these guys are engaging in moderation.
Yo, and Kelazhur, he's actually dealing a lot of damage here. Like, this is a decent amount of lost mining time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Is it enough, though? Not for SouL, I don't believe.
I mean, SouL is down now 3 workers due to that, and he is trying to find an opportunity here. I'm pretty sure, yes, SouL is aware of the positioning because of his sensor tower.
Oh. This is what makes TvT so fun. He walked all the way across the map, scanned once, sees the tank, and goes home. I mean, he's obviously going to try and reposture here, but for the most part, he's just going to like scan, see there's too much, and then go home.
It's all about the positioning. It's all about finding an opportunity when your opponent is unsieged or where his army isn't sieged, so you're able to like walk over a little bit, siege your tanks and then slowly leap forward. It's very invigorating. It's very dynamic. Oh.
Here we go. Big engagement. I don't quite know what's happening. So, okay. Well, SouL won. That's what I know happened. I lagged a little bit there. It does look like SouL came out the victor. He has army. Kelazhur does not. You know what this TvT matchup reminds me of? It reminds me of a kid playing battleships. You're kind of just guessing. You're kind of just throwing volleys out there. Kind of just siege up, and scan and hope you get a good volley off into the darkness.
Honestly, I'm so impressed by SouL. Like sure, he won last game, but this game, like, that was such a dominant engagement. Even though Kelazhur sieged up first with his tanks, like SouL just immediately threw down a bunch of auto turrets, tanked all the tank shots, then he just cleaned everything up, and now he's ahead in supply. He's down in workers, but you know what? He's just moving on forward, gonna take out another tank.
Oh, didn't even need the auto turrets. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Kelazhur was doing some good damage at the beginning, but now as we get deeper into it, it kind of looks like SouL's just gonna absolutely smash this one.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely gonna smash through this. Like, the third wave is forced to lift up. It's on fire right now. But you see there are a couple of units here for Kelazhur, and he's trying to hold the line, but you know what? SouL just picks up and he's jumping into the main.
Yeah, that's all he needs to do. You can't really engage in these tanks at all he has is one tank. So you can't really stim your bio up against these 3 tanks without taking major unforgettable losses. And he's even in the corner to where you can back up and GG. SouL bringing it home, sticking it to Kelazhur just to remind him that he can't mess with his best friend Cham.
They're besties. They're
besties. If you didn't know, I just confirmed they're besties. But honestly, in all honestness, I'm kind of sad Kelazhur lost because he was a Latin American representation.
Yeah,
but technically he's Brazil, so he's not really Latin America. I don't know. It gets into a gray area there. On Brazil, but still, Kelazhur, he's coming from the home team technically, so it is sad that he lost there. And Cham unfortunately did go down 0-1 to Estrella. Rip the guy.
Oh, he's currently down in that series, but yeah, congratulations, SouL. He's our 2nd player to qualify alongside Neeb. And
wait, is it lower bracket a best of 3 as well?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's rough.
Oof.
A lot of games I feel being played out, but that's better for Cham. He's still got a chance then.
He does still have a chance. They're all best of 3s. Speaking
of, beat sort of. So confirm, Cham can beat sort of.
Yeah, it's possible. Also, just make sure you log out, close the client, and then switch over to America, and then come back.
Shout out to Blizzard, holding it down with the very easy way to do things.